Can you hear it? Listen closely. It's not a noise. It's the absence of one. It's the echo left by a job that existed yesterday and today is gone. It's the silence of an assembly line where hundreds once stood. The silence of an accounting firm where algorithms now do in seconds what used to take weeks. We told ourselves this would only happen to repetitive jobs, the simple ones. But the truth is, the silence is spreading. It's creeping through the halls of law firms, advertising agencies, and doctors' offices. The sound of your job disappearing isn't a bang. It's a whisper you only notice when it has already taken over. This isn't an apocalyptic prediction. It's a diagnosis of the present. Intelligent automation is no longer knocking on the door. It has already walked in, taken off its shoes, and is quietly analyzing which part of your routine it can optimize into non-existence. The first piece of your armor isn't a tool. It's the act of finally stop ignoring this silence and facing it head-on. We thought of automation as a predator hunting the weakest tasks, but that metaphor is flawed. AI is not a predator. It's an architect, a cold, logical, and incredibly efficient architect that is redesigning the very ground upon which we build our careers. It isn't just doing tasks. It's redefining what value is. An optimization algorithm doesn't care about your years of experience. It cares about the most efficient route. A generative language model doesn't care about your writing degree. It cares about the ability to produce 1,000 variations of a text in the blink of an eye. Obsolescence in this new architecture is not a personal failure. It's a systemic outcome. It's the product of a system that prioritizes scalability and efficiency above all else. Understanding this is crucial. You aren't fighting a competitor. You are navigating a new ecosystem, one whose laws were written in code. The question isn't, will my job be replaced? But how is the value of my work being redefined by this new architecture? There was a silent pact. We'd let the machines handle the grunt work, and we humans would keep the divine spark of creativity, of strategy, of complex thought. How wrong we were. Generative AI didn't just learn to paint, compose, and write. It learned to generate market strategies, identify patterns in complex data no human would see, and create optimized engineering designs. The illusion that creativity was our last safe bastion has crumbled, and that's terrifying. But it's also liberating. It forces us to ask, what is creativity, really? Is it just the recombination of existing patterns, something a machine can do with superhuman efficiency? Or is it something deeper? True human creativity may not lie in the act of creating, but in the why of creating. In the intent, the emotion, the connection, the purpose. AI can generate an image, but it cannot feel the anguish or joy that inspired it. It can write a script, but it doesn't understand the human dilemma it explores. Your safety doesn't lie in being creative, but in being profoundly, irreducibly human in your creativity. If this new reality is written in code, then the first plate of your armor must be forged in fluency. Learning to program, especially in Python, is no longer a niche skill for IT people. It's the modern equivalent of literacy. You don't have to become a senior developer, but you need to understand the logic, the syntax, the power that resides in libraries like NumPy and Pandas. To understand Python is to understand how the digital world is built, how data is manipulated, and how algorithmic decisions are made. It's like learning Latin in the Middle Ages to understand law and philosophy. To ignore this is to choose to be a mere user in a world governed by architects. It's accepting reality's terms of service without reading them. Learning the logic of programming is the first step to get out of the passenger seat and, at the very least, understand the map the driver is using. This is your foundation. The breastplate of your armor, knowing the language is the first step, The second is understanding the literature being written with it. That's machine learning. It's not enough to know how to handle data. You need to understand how predictive models use that data to think. Natnu, as Andrew Ng, a pioneer in the democratization of AI, often says AI is the new electricity. And like electricity, you don't need to be an electrical engineer to use it, but understanding its basic principles gives you an immense advantage. Understanding the fundamentals of machine learning is like gaining a new sense. It's the ability to look at a business problem, a social challenge, or a creative process and ask, can this be framed as a prediction problem? What data would be needed to train a model to help us here? This is the vision beyond the data. It's the skill of turning AI from a magical black box into a powerful strategic tool. It's the plate that protects your flanks, allowing you to anticipate moves and see opportunities where others only see complexity. Now we go deeper, into the mind of the machine. You don't need to build a positronic brain, but understanding its core components is what separates the strategist from the spectator. We're talking about AI architectures, neural networks, and the transformer models that power generative AI. Demystifying these concepts is like a mechanic understanding how an engine works. They may not have designed the engine, but they know how to get the most performance out of it, how to fix it, and how to adapt it. Knowing the difference between supervised and unsupervised learning, understanding what a token is in a language model, or why attention was such a breakthrough, transforms you. You cease to be a passive consumer of a technology and become an active conductor. You can ask smarter questions, demand better solutions, and most importantly, call out the technological bluff. This is the visor of your helm, the piece that gives you the clarity to look directly into the heart of the beast and not flinch. Technical armor is powerful, but incomplete. A machine can access all the information in the world, but it has no wisdom. It can recognize patterns, but it doesn't understand context. This is where we forge the inner layer of the armor, the chainmail that touches the skin. Critical and emotional intelligence. The ability to ask the question that isn't in the data. The skill to read the atmosphere of a boardroom. The courage to make an ethical decision that goes against pure mathematical optimization. The empathy to understand a client's unspoken need. AI is a tool for answers. It responds to what we ask. But the quality of our questions, the depth of our curiosity, our moral compass, that is our territory. Cultivating critical and emotional intelligence isn't a soft skill. It's the hardest skill of all in the age of automation. It's the human processing core that, for now, remains inimitable. The popular imagination, fed by decades of science fiction, sold us a battle. Man versus machine. What a poor narrative. What a lack of imagination. The future of high-value work belongs neither to those who fight AI, nor to those who are replaced by it. It belongs to the centaurs, to the hybrid professionals who merge their human intelligence with the computational power of AI. The art of human-AI collaboration is the ability to use technology not as a crutch, but as a cognitive exoskeleton. It's the doctor who uses an AI to analyze thousands of scans for invisible anomalies, freeing up their time for the complex diagnosis and the conversation with the patient. It's the artist who uses a generative model to create hundreds of prototypes, accelerating their creative exploration. It's the strategist who uses AI to analyze the market, but applies their intuition and experience to make the final call. This is not a surrender, it's a symbiosis. It's the bond that holds all the plates of your armor together, making it both flexible and powerful. Armor without a code of honor is just a metal cage. A knight without a moral compass is just a thug with a better sword. As AI becomes more powerful, the rarest and most valuable skill will be the ability to wield it with ethics and responsibility. As researcher Timnit Gebru warned, AI models trained on data from our imperfect world inherit and amplify our worst biases. Who is responsible when a hiring algorithm discriminates? Who answers when a credit system denies access to an entire community? The ability to anticipate these dilemmas, to design fair systems, to audit algorithms for bias, and to champion human well-being over optimization is the shield of your armor. Companies are desperate for professionals who can navigate this ethical minefield, because an ethical failure in the age of AI isn't just bad PR, it's a massive reputational, financial, and human disaster. Wielding an ethical shield isn't just about doing good. It's the smartest survival strategy. Fear focuses on what will be lost. Ambition focuses on what will be created. For every profession that AI displaces, it creates the need for new roles in a territory we are still mapping. Prompt engineer, AI bias auditor, training data curator, human-robot interaction therapist, cognitive symbiosis strategist. These titles may sound like science fiction today, but they are the logical consequence of technological advancement. Building your armor isn't just about defending your current position. It's about preparing to be a pioneer in these new fields. It's having the vision to connect emerging needs with new technological capabilities. The greatest opportunity lies not in doing the old jobs slightly better, but in having the courage to volunteer for the jobs that don't have a name yet, but whose necessity is already pulsing beneath the surface of the present. This is your new battlefield, or rather, your new field of exploration. An armor, no matter how strong, rusts if not maintained. In the technological landscape, rust is stagnation. The most durable skill you can develop is the meta-skill of learning how to learn. The knowledge obsolescence cycle is becoming brutally short. The AI framework that is the industry standard today could be a footnote in 3 years. The market strategy that works now will be naive in 18 months. Therefore, the upkeep of your armor is an active, continuous process. It's the discipline of dedicating hours every week to reading papers, taking courses, and experimenting with new tools. It's the humility to unlearn old habits and the courage to embrace the position of a perpetual novice. Lifelong learning ceases to be an item on your resume and becomes your professional breath. It's not something you do, it's something you are. Your armor is not a static object. It's a living organism that must be constantly nourished with new information and new skills, lest it become a relic. And so, at the end of the journey, with the armor complete, you look at yourself in the mirror. The plates of code, the vision of data, the mind of the machine, the soul's forge, the shield of ethics, and you realize the deepest truth. The armor was never to fight artificial intelligence. It was to force you to become more intelligent, more critical, more empathetic, more ethical, more adaptable, more human. AI, in its relentless pursuit of optimization, is showing us everything that cannot be optimized, everything that makes us unique. Timnit Gebru gave us the warning about the distorted reflection AI can show us. It's up to us to polish that mirror. The final question is not what AI will do to us. The question is what we will choose to become in its presence. Will you be the craftsman who fears his own tool, or the knight who uses it to explore the very limits of what it means to be human? The armor is ready. What will you do with it?